If your monster's sad and bitter, or he's feeling like a quitter, see the monster sitter, Mr. Princeton Vice.
Princeton, are we gonna watch the movie now?
Well, before we watch a movie, I thought we'd kill some time watching a short.
On what?
Tonight's movie is about making art, so I thought, why not an informative 18-minute movie about how to make woodblock print?
Oh, frack, he's serious.
Oh no!
What?
It's boring!
No, it's not that bad.
It's watching paint dry. Literally.
Okay, you got a point.
Oh! What if we rip it? Like the other shows do with those puppets?
Riff it.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah! Put it!
Okay.
Yay!
But Tippi, this will be your first time riffing a movie, so let's ease ourselves in.
Okay.
Also, Murray, it's the first time you've riffed something since the class action lawsuit.
What?
Well, you see, when Murray starts riffing, he sometimes goes a bit too hard.
Hey, you can't discuss that. There was a settlement.
So, let's warm up with some easy prompts, okay? I'm gonna set up a line, and you say something funny and maybe a little biting.
Funny and biting. I like to bite, yes.
You're very good at biting.
Yes.
Clip 1. Picture it.
Yes.
Man hears a knock on the door. He asks, "Who is it?"
It's me.
Well, can you be more specific? I'll establish the characters a little bit more.
Oh, okay.
Who is it?
It's me, Tippi.
It's you, Tippi.
Yeah. Was that good?
It's a good start. It's a good start.
Okay.
Good start. Yeah.
All right.
All right, Murray. Let's try it. Who is it?
It's your mother, you lousy f***up. Wish you'd never been born.
Okay. A bit too mocking. Let's dial it back some. You're at a 9. Let's try it a 7. Okay. Okay.
I can't do that.
Well, character says. Let's try clip 2. Character says, "You'll never believe what happened last night." Well, nice start. You might say, "I put on my underpants after only 2 tries." Why don't you try, Tippi? "You'll never believe what happened last night."
I don't wear underpants.
That's good.
I think it would take me a couple of tries because I don't wear it. That's silly.
Yes, that is silly. Murray, let's you try.
You'll never know what happened last night. I snuck into your house and set it on fire and laughed as it burned to the ground. Laughed!
Murray, are you doing okay?
You're scaring me.
It's been a long month.
Yeah, relatable.
Yeah, okay, so let's go ahead and take a small break and possibly a therapy session, and we'll be right back with that short.
My name is Lowell Naeve.
Lowell Naeve? Is that like Hark of Acre?
Woodblock Printing is what I do, and that's what this film is about.
And literally nothing else.
Oh, great. We're in for a ride, guys. Lowell Two Barnes Naeve.
And no one else.
Behind this tent, a man with 2 last names.
Most of my woodblock prints start from a drawing.
It's supposed to be a horse.
The sketch I am making now will serve as a guide for later work, to refresh my memory and to check on details.
So I remember what a barn is.
This is my studio in the woods of Vermont. For me, it's an ideal place to work. I have plenty of space, and there are no distractions.
Because there's nothing to do in Vermont.
From the original drawing, I've already made a working sketch the size of the finished print, with all the color areas outlined. From this large sketch, I trace several of the color areas onto a piece of white pine. The pencil must be used very lightly so that it will not scar the wood.
Only my knife can draw first
When the
blood.
drawing has been transferred, the first block is ready for cutting. Like all wood blocks, this is the reverse of the original drawing, because the image on the block is always reversed in printing. The short-bladed knives must be sharp, and the job requires accuracy and patience.
Oh, you're testing my patience.
The knife is always held at an angle to make a beveled cut.
Everybody's got an angle, eh?
Easier without this green line in the way.
Channels like these can then be lifted out easily, and the beveled cut ensures that the remaining wood has a solid base.
'Cause I'm all about that base, cut devil.
When the block is printed, these will show up as white lines, framing the door of the barn. The cuts must be deep, so that the negative
Deep
areas
as
will
my
not pick up
emotional
ink when the
scars.
block is printed.
His face is carved of wood.
A few more hours of cutting and block
Slicing
number
stabbing
1 is
razor.
almost ready for printing. This is the edge of the roof.
Or roof. Guys, like that jigsaw of trees. Is it safe?
Large areas of wood are removed with a wide scoop.
Scoop. It sounds like ice cream.
Not all of the background needs to be cut away, but inking the block will be easier if there's plenty of free space around each area to be inked.
Excelsior, true believers!
These are finely ground pigments.
Urine, blood,
Most
feces.
printmakers use ready-made inks,
Can we watch
but I
them
prefer to
instead?
mix my own. The colors are richer and more permanent. The dry pigment is mixed with raw linseed oil. I use an ordinary sheet of glass as a palette.
Everything about me is ordinary.
Now I smear it with peanut butter. Welcome to my ASMR channel.
Now we mix the paint.
That's more interesting than the barn.
Finally, lacquetine is added to give the ink body and to prevent it from bleeding out on the paper.
Bleeding out. Cut, blood. Psycho Hitchcock answering murder.
The ink is the right consistency when it snaps under the brayer.
Yeah, it's the paint that
One
snapped.
of the things I enjoy most about this work is watching patterns jump out of the wood when the ink hits them for the first time.
Almost as much fun as hunting humans for sport.
The brayer must be kept well charged so that all parts of the block will have an even coating of ink.
If not, you will fail. Fail!
Oh, he's using a new color of brown. How daring.
Several colors can go on the same block so long as the various color areas are separated.
You see colors?
Two colors side by side in the same block would be almost impossible to ink.
Oh, now he's painting with all of the browns of the rainbow.
The size of the brayer is determined by the size of the areas to be inked. For very small areas, no brayer
Stop
at
that.
all.
We're gonna get demonetized.
To ensure proper register, I use these wooden strips nailed to the corner of the table. They hold the block firmly in place
So it
and
doesn't
serve as a
escape.
guide for positioning the paper. The paper must be thin but tough.
Like me.
Rice paper is best. To get a good impression, all the printed surfaces must be rubbed. For this, I use a rounded wooden paddle with a smooth, waxed surface.
You mean a spoon?
The color shows right through the back of the paper.
Again, what What is he seeing that he's calling colors? Yeah, rocket!
With the rubbing completed, the first print can be checked. I may want to change it later,
Because it
but now
sucks.
I'll go on to the second block.
Second block.
It's the same size as the first one and fits into the same spot on the registry press. After coating the block with a layer of glue, I attach the print from the first block face down,
Because
making
it's
sure it's in
ashamed
the
of me.
same position as before.
I don't like change.
The glue holds it firmly in place, and it serves as a guide for cutting the second block.
Can it guide you to cut a good block?
I can tell exactly where to put the new color areas so they'll be placed properly in relation to the colors in the first block. I draw in the areas to be cut, again being careful to use the pencil very lightly.
No, better than that. No, too hard! How many eyes does a barn have again?
The paper's left in place. After the cutting is completed, I'll soak it off with water.
But you'll never soak off my guilt. Cutting upward and imagining my wife. Excelsior!
Carving seems to be
He's
something
a
natural to
chainsaw
a
sculpture
man.
that wanted to be a real boy.
Time was, people would sit around for hours just whittling on a stick, and figured that was amusement enough for anyone.
Now we have Tubi,
They don't do it much anymore.
and we can see why.
Maybe they ought to.
Maybe I'll make them.
This color is for the sky.
Yes, the brown Vermont sky.
Visit Vermont. At least we've got Ben and Jerry's.
Another color for a silo.
Alright, Tippi, for the $1 million question, what color is he going to use next?
Oh, I don't know. Green would look good. No violet. No red. No violet. No blue.
And it's brown.
And
No
a
points.
third for a stone foundation.
Spoony, 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 spoon.
This is the second print.
The second print.
It's a combined picture.
I can do
Blocks
that in
1 and 2
Photoshop in 5
printed on the
seconds.
same
Me
paper.
too, but the knives do a number on my tablet.
For
Think
the
that
third
voids the
block,
warranty.
I use a piece of old weathered wood. This
There's
will
not
give
enough
texture to the
wood in
boards
my
in the
wood
barn
lot.
and lend interest to the leaden, wintry sky.
This is enough to get you up in the morning in Vermont, huh? Ugh. Football player needs a new read. Oh, dark brown. We're breaking boundaries today, aren't we? A lovely shade of hangover poop black. Ah!
Weathered grain like this gives the whole print a feeling of woodiness,
Yeah, it looks like I'm gonna get
something
a
which
splint.
sets woodblocks apart from lithographs and other forms of reproduction.
Reproduction, woodiness. They let kids
Now
watch
I cut a
this?
final
Nowadays,
block
this
for
guy would have
accents,
his own
such as
4chan
the hinges on
fetish
the barn
forum called
doors.
Wood Gives Me Wood.
You really gotta hand it to the bassoonist. He's just really committing here.
Did the other instruments bail? He's alone in the concert hall, desperately trying to fill in all the parts.
Shh, nobody tell Gary. We're not gonna turn up. I wonder why this is a dying art. Yes, please. Put ink on every single bit sticking up.
When all the blocks have been cut and printed, it's time to check the results and see what changes are necessary.
Like a match and some gasoline.
A print is put together piece by piece, one color added at a time. But they are sewn together, and they must work
The
together.
mushrooms just kicked in.
Oh, I don't like it.
Then I look it over to see what changes it needs.
Needs more brown.
When the print is dried, I can draw on it directly to indicate the changes.
Hey, that's not wood. He's
To
cheating.
start with, that sky needs some variation. Shafts of light will help. Stays got left off the silo.
Stay. Good silo.
Foreground needs a dark band to balance that top-heavy sky. A tree would help to liven up this corner.
Draw a sad little tree.
There's no
Door here,
mistakes
I
here.
think.
Just sad accidents.
This old painting's a sad accent in brown.
Hatch in the silo, too.
Ew.
Darker color for some of the other doors.
The cigarette butts in the ashtray. The clown on the tree.
Yes, take those out.
Take them out now. Now, what were you thinking?
And a bird.
I got it.
That'll help break up the sky, too.
I like birds. Birds are my only friends.
The additions can all be made on existing blocks, since the large background areas weren't cut away.
That's his signature mark. He leaves it on all his victims.
Yeah, that's how Columbo's gonna catch him. It is one thing about this bird in the painting.
Excelsior!
The shafts of light in the sky are made by varying the pressure of the rubbing. Heavy pressure for the dark areas, less pressure for the light areas.
I thrive under pressure. How about you? You like that? You work at a computer all day, don't you? Let me know if it hurts. Guide me.
The finished prints are hung up to dry.
They're made of bacon.
When I've printed an edition of 100, I'll destroy the blocks.
And the evidence. And this film. And the people watching this film. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, it looks like Vermont.
The final result is different from my original conception.
And somehow worse.
Like all works of art, a print is a fluid thing, evolving and changing as it progresses. Here are some of my other prints.
Oh, I can't wait to see the breadth of his mediocrity.
It's a leaf. A collection of mammograms.
A fish playing cards.
My board bug NFTs. Cat and butterfly. They fight crime.
Nude descending a staircase.
My failed art
Sometimes
ad.
people ask me, why all the carving and inking and bother?
And screaming and running
Why
and
woodblocks?
bleeding.
Well, because nothing else prints the way wood does. Look at that woody texture, the spontaneous feel of the grain.
This guy's off the deep end.
That is why wood blocks. Signed,
A very
Lowell
lonely
Naeve.
man.
The state of Vermont would like to apologize for this picture.